Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. This device has two batteries inside. Let me show you how to get access to the batteries and replace them. So the first thing to do is to hit the back of the device with a heat gun. After that, we are going to remove the back. The back of this device was heated at the highest setting on the heat gun with 50% air output for only 40 seconds. The next step is to have a suction cup on the back of the Z Flip 4 and then start pulling in order to create a small gap between the frame of the device and the back glass. After inserting a guitar pick, I'm just going to move the guitar pick right and left initially. So whenever you find the guitar pick is not moving fast enough and it is becoming difficult, you can reheat the surface of the back glass and continue with the guitar pick. So I did all four sides of this back glass and now I can remove it safely without any damage to my Galaxy Z Flip 4. So depending on the condition of the double-sided tape, after you remove the back glass, you may reuse it, but it is advised that you use a new double-sided tape in order to seal the back. So the next thing to do is to hit the front of the device. I have heated the front of this Galaxy Z Flip 4 for 40 seconds at the highest setting on my heat gun. So after hitting the back glass, you need to have a smaller suction cup like the one that I'm using and pull on the glass in the front of the device. And after that, you can insert a guitar pick between the glass and the frame of the device. If the guitar pick is too big, you can insert a small blade. Do not push the blade inside, just have the blade as a placeholder for you to insert the guitar pick next. If the gap that you had initially is big enough, just insert the guitar pick and then you should do the same thing. Move the guitar pick on all four sides of the device. In order to make things easy, I tend to reheat the side that I am going to work next. This is going to make sure that I do not break the glass and also making sure that it is easier to remove. So on the Galaxy Z Flip 4, you have this small screen on the front. So once you're going near the small screen, make sure that the guitar pick is inserted just enough in order to detach the double-sided tape or go through the double-sided tape. Do not insert the guitar pick far inside because you will damage the screen and it is going to be a waste. You can clearly see here that I'm inserting just a small section of the guitar pick in order to do what I just said. Make sure that you do the same if you want to avoid damaging the screen or breaking the glass. Okay, once you know that you've done all four sides of the front, make sure that you start pulling slowly and looking at the flex cable for the screen from the right to the left, starting with the side with the buttons, just like I'm doing it. So while making this video, the only thing that I do not want you to do is to damage something else while you're trying to remove the batteries on your Galaxy Z Flip 4. So here's the screen. You can see on the side where the guitar pick is, it is very close to that edge of the device. So by inserting the guitar pick far inside, you may damage that flex cable or damaging the screen. So next, before we proceed, you need to remove a small plastic covering the flex cable for the screen. After you remove that, you can disconnect that flex cable and completely detach the front of the device. So next, the only thing that I'm doing is to remove all the screws that I can see on the back of this Galaxy Z Flip 4. You need to remove all the screws. Make sure that you organize the screws. So the first step is to remove the wireless charging. So once you lifted the wireless charger, you simply need to remove the loudspeaker at the bottom of the device. Simply pull on it to remove it completely. You can see there is a flex cable coming from the top, going all the way down to the charging module. So next, I remove this small metallic plate covering the flex cable for the wireless charger. So first, disconnect both flex cables, the one in yellow and the other one in darker color. Disconnect both of them, and after that, you can simply start pulling the wireless charger completely out of the Galaxy Z Flip 4. So you can see the other cable was for the big battery on this device. The next step is to remove that flex cable that is above the battery. The two sets of flex cables are connected to the charging module at the bottom. You need to disconnect the flex cable on the right side of the charging module and then work on the other one that goes directly on top of the charging module. So after I have disconnected the flex cable that goes on top of the charging module, you need to remove the screws that are attaching the charging module to the frame of the device. So the other cable, the black cable that goes on top of the battery, is connected on the back of the charging module. So you need to remove the charging module out of the frame of the device before you can get access to that cable and disconnect it. So after removing the charging module, we do not have any restrictions on the battery now. The battery is free to be removed. So I'm going to work on the smaller battery next in order to free the smaller battery out of all the cables that are going above it. Here the first thing is to remove this plastic that is covering all the connector for the flex cables. After you remove that, you can start disconnecting all the flex cables that are connected to the motherboard. So just continue, remove, disconnect all the cables that are connected to the motherboard, and right after that I'm going to show you how to hold all the cables in one place and then start working on the batteries. So the first thing that I did was to add a little bit of alcohol on top of the battery. You just need to add a few drops of alcohol, then you push the alcohols on the sides of the battery, except the side where you have the cable coming from. So just like I did it, push the alcohol on the sides. The alcohol is going to go on the back of the battery, touch the double-sided tape, and then making it soft in order to remove it. So after waiting 1 or 2 minutes, you can just start using a flat plastic tool that is going to fit between the battery and the frame of the device. I do not have any tool that is that thin, so I'm going to use my flat metal tool that I used for battery removal of multiple devices already. So this tool goes between the battery and the frame of the device, and you start pulling the battery slowly, not with a lot of force, and the battery will come out of the frame of the device very easily since you already have alcohol soaked all the double-sided tape. So for any excess alcohol, just wipe it down with a clean towel or a clean napkin. So for the big battery, you just need to do the same thing, a little bit of alcohol, then just push the alcohol on the sides, not on the side where you have the cable for the battery coming from. Take your tool, a tool that can fit between the battery and the frame of the device, and you start pulling slowly, not with a lot of force, in order to avoid puncturing or scratching the battery. You can take your time 1 to 3 minutes in order to do this process and remove the battery safely. So with the alcohol on the back of the battery, once you have your tool inserted, just like I am showing it to you right now, you can simply start pulling the battery out of the frame of the device. You can see the double-sided tape is pretty soft at this moment. So repeat the same thing, remove all excess alcohol that is still inside the frame of the device. Both batteries have been removed without any damage to the surface of the battery. For you, a new battery, you just simply need to remove the plastic on the back of the new battery, revealing the double-sided tape, and insert the batteries inside of your Galaxy Z Flip 4. Then attach the flex cables coming from the battery to the motherboard and any other flex cables that is going to the motherboard and going back to the charging module on the back of the device. Obviously, you need to reinstall everything, including all the screws that you removed. Once that has been done, you can start the reinstallation process of the front of the device and the back of the device. For me, I use B7000 in order to reseal the front of this Galaxy Z Flip 4, and also I use B7000 in order to seal the back of this device. With new front glass and new back glass with new double-sided tape, it is much easier. You just need to remove the plastic covering the double-sided tape, then start with the back glass, and then you do the front. Make sure that you connect the flex cable for the screen. As for me, the device will stay like this for 10-20 minutes with the pressure applied on the front and on the back, and then I will come back later and do my final inspection. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like and share, and I will see you on my next tutorial or my next video.